Hi, it's me, Kristen, and you're watching Kristincooks. And it's still a snowy day. It's a no school day yet, again, for my kids. And so I thought it would be a good time to do some more soups before the season is over, the winter season. So today, in this video, I have two soups ready for you. I'm preparing for you, actually, I should say. One, I'm gonna do a tomato soup. I've never done tomato soup in my kitchen before. I've always just bought Campbell's soup because that's what my family prefers, and you just can't beat Campbell's tomato soup, okay? If you're a lover of tomato soup, you know what I'm talking about. And then also I wanted to do asparagus because we're at the very end of winter. We're gonna be going into spring real quick here. So that means that asparagus is on sale, which is great. I love it when anything is on sale nowadays. So let's go to the kitchen and get started. If you like my video and you enjoy what I'm doing here, so don't forget to press that subscribe button, please. Give me a like, comment. What are the soups you like to do? What do you enjoy to make at home for soup? Comment below, let me know. I always go through my comments. There's not that many, but I do pay attention to what my viewers have to say, and I like to communicate with people. So let me know if there's any favorite kind of soup you like to do, and I'd love to try it on my channel. So let's go to the kitchen and let's get started, people. Okay, starting out with the first soup, I have about 3 pounds of fresh Roma tomatoes. I'm just cutting them up in half, and I'm gonna cut up part of this pepper right here and this shallot, and also I have a couple cloves of garlic I'm going to mince up, and this is all gonna go onto a sheet pan right here. And then it's gonna go into a preheated oven at 450 for 25 minutes total. I'm gonna stir it once, and then at the end of the cooking time, then I'm going to turn on the broiler so it can get nice charring on the outside, which will add to the flavor of the soup. You'll notice on the cutting board, I have those little snacking tomatoes that I just had sitting around, and I wanted to use them up before they started to mold. So those are going to go into the mix as well. Okay, and then as I'm working away here, I just want to let you know about some tomato soup health benefits. Tomatoes are very high in antioxidants. They're a great source of lycopene, vitamins C and E, and all those things help reduce the risk of prostate and breast cancer. And it was also saying that cooked tomatoes have a more potent effect than raw tomatoes. So all of those things are really good things. I myself, I don't eat as much tomatoes as I'd like, mostly because, you know, tomatoes you get out of the grocery store usually do not have very much flavor at all. They're just, you eat them, and even if you put salt and pepper on them, they still just taste like nothing. So this is a good option to get some more tomatoes into your diet by doing this soup. Okay, so to this big Dutch oven pan here, I'm putting in 2 cups of chicken broth, and I'm taking out my vegetables to stir them around. They're going to go back into the oven. And I forgot I was going to add in a little Italian seasoning, so I went and grabbed them out of the oven really fast, and I'm just sprinkling a good amount of this over the top and then put them back into the oven. And I also wanted to put in a little bit of Italian parsley. You could also add in fresh basil or oregano if you want, but I had parsley in my fridge, so I'm going to use that. Okay, so now that the vegetables are done roasting in the oven, they're going to go into the chicken broth, as you see here. And then we're going to go over to the countertop and use my little immersion blender. Very messy. Oh, it was a messy job. But this didn't do as nice of a job as I wanted. I wanted this to be pureed down as much as possible, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So, switching over to my blender, I'm just gonna put all the soup in there, put a towel, put the lid on it, of course, and then open up the little spout thing on the top, put a towel over it so it doesn't splash everywhere like this, and then blend away. Okay, and then once that's done, pour it back into the pot, and then half a cup of heavy cream goes in, and you just let it kind of simmer away. Check for seasoning, always a must do when you're cooking. Always remember to taste test. And here's a little trick. Tomatoes are really acidic, and usually you can add in some white sugar to counterbalance that acidity with the sweetness, but instead you can put in baking soda, and that will do the same thing without adding sugar, and it works. So just a little tip there you could try next time. Okay, and then with tomato soup, you have to have a grilled cheese, okay? So I have sourdough bread here, cut the crust off. I'm going to put the outside with mayo. I don't know if does anybody else do a grilled cheese with mayo? It's really good, you should try it. And then putting on shredded Parmesan. And then just making my grilled cheese out of cheddar, flipping it over. It's beautiful. It turned out so good. It was so crispy and crunchy with that Parmesan cheese on the outside. I highly recommend doing a grilled cheese like this next time. It's just delicious. I'm choosing to garnish my soup with this pesto. It's really good. And I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top. Okay, soup's all done and my grilled cheese is done. Looks really good. I really like the cheese on the outside, how it got golden brown on the outside like that. So I'm just gonna dip it in my soup here. Very crunchy, very good. And then my soup. It's nice and hot. It's been on the oven, the stovetop for a little bit. There's how it looks. I like how there's not too much bell pepper in here, so where it's overwhelming the tomato. It's just a little bit in the background, and it goes with the tomato really well. And I like the pesto I put on top for a garnish. You could also put like baby dill or chives on top if you wanted, if you didn't want to do the pesto, but I love pesto, so I think it goes really well on the soup. It's really good. If I had a different kind of cheese other than cheddar to do, my grilled cheese, I think I would have opted for like a provolone or something that's a little bit more funkier than just cheddar. I think that would go really well with the tomato. But it's really good. A really good soup, late winter soup. I don't know, I just like it. So I'm gonna have another one coming, another soup. I'm gonna do another soup tomorrow, and then I'll put this up. So overall, good recipe. I'll link it below in the description box, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, so to start off with, we have a heavy pot. I have it over medium heat. I have 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna put that in the pan so it can start melting. Okay, and then we have 2 bunches of asparagus. You need 2 pounds. This is pretty close to that. So we're going to, I have a little bit of garlic right here. I'm going to add it to my pot. 3 cloves of garlic. The recipe calls for 1, but I like a lot of garlic, so I put 3 cloves in. So I'm letting that heat up with the butter. And then we're going to trim the asparagus. So if you're new to working with asparagus, you see how it's like lighter in color? Down here it's white, and this is the fibrous part of the asparagus. It's not very pleasant to eat. So you can take an asparagus and grab both ends like this, and then you just go like that, and then the fibrous end will snap off usually, but I feel like that's a lot to just get rid of. So I usually take this guide and then I'll go kind of cut in a little bit more so I can use a little bit more of the asparagus, but that's just what's easy. And then the one that you use to break, you can kind of use it as a guide to trim the rest of your asparagus, so you're not having to go one by one, because you know it takes time to do that. So like I said, I'm just gonna use this as a guide and take that and go down a little bit further, just so we're using up as much as we can of the asparagus, because this is just gonna be not good. You can't use it. It's too fibrous and it's not pleasant. So there we go. This I will not use. I'll set it aside. I have tried to use that for a soup before, and it didn't work out. Trust me, it wasn't good. So let's hurry up. My oil, my butter is beginning to melt down, and let me stir my garlic. We're getting fragrance, so we need to move things along here. So we're gonna, after this, we're gonna trim these pieces into 1-inch pieces-ish like that. So I'm gonna take these, throw them in my pan so they can start to cook away, and then I'll quickly do this other bunch just the same way. Okay, and then I have it all in my pan here with the butter and the garlic. So I'm going to season with salt and pepper. Salt to taste. I'm gonna do just like, you know, a nice little pinch-a-roo here, maybe just a little more like that. And then we need some black pepper. Just, you know, plain old black pepper, if I can speak. And then we'll just season that up. Very good. And then we're gonna just cook until golden, about 5 minutes. And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so 5 minutes later, and look at that. The asparagus has gotten some really good color. I love it. It's so pretty. It looks so good on my screen right here. So now it's time to add 2 cups of chicken broth. Like that, as you can see. I'm gonna add that in. And then we're going to cover it and let it simmer away for 10 to 15 minutes, just until it's nice and tender. And then it'll be time to blend it up. And I also have my oven preheated because I'm gonna make a little bread to go with it. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes. Okay, time's up. And woo, look at that. That looks excellent. So now that we've finished boiling, I'm going to turn the heat way down to low, and then I'm going to put the beginnings of the soup here into the blender and blend it up. Okay, so I'm going to take my soup here. I have my blender in the sink, so it'll make it easier for me to transfer it. Of course, you don't want to overfill your blender, especially when you're blending up a hot soup. So I think it'll be all right. It's not all the way full. It'll be about halfway full when I have it blended. So I'll just put my lid on, lock it down, and then it has a little spout right here. I'm gonna open that to let the steam escape as I'm blending so that we don't like explode or something. So here we go. I'm gonna put a towel over it too, just to keep the mess down. So here we go. Soup has been pureed enough. Ooh, that color, look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. Looks so good. Okay, and now we are going to add in a half a cup of cream and the garnishment. Okay, so here's a half a cup of cream. It's going in, just like that. Bring you a little bit closer. And stir it in. Doesn't that look just so good? I love asparagus. It's really good to me. And it's good for you. And this recipe is actually quite healthy, actually. Only 199 calories per serving. Hardly any sugar, of course. No, hardly any carbs. I mean, there's some protein even, 6 grams of protein with the cream. So, I mean, this is a good choice. It'd be a really good option for lunch if you wanted to do like a soup and salad for lunch or a quick light dinner. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish up this soup, get some garnishments cut up, and I'll be right back. So I just gave it a little taste test, and it does need some more salt. So I'm just gonna take 2 pinches, healthy pinches, and put it in there. Stir that up. I'm also gonna put in maybe just a little bit more garlic salt because that peps up anything you're doing here. So I just want to tell you that. Okay, so you don't have to do this part, but I have this pesto in the fridge and it's a really good pesto, so I'm gonna add just, this jar is almost gone anyway, so I'm just gonna throw in the rest of it. It's like that much, and I'm sure it'll add an extra boost of herby flavor, that because it's just kind of missing something still for me, for my taste. So sometimes just seasoning with salt and pepper just doesn't do it. So I'm just gonna stir this in, sorry, and I'll come back and tell you my thoughts. Also in the oven, I warmed up a little bit of garlic bread. I don't know why I always insist on grabbing hot things with my fingers all the time. So just gonna cut these up, and then it is lunchtime. Okay, soup is done. It's really good. I've been tasting it along the way, and this is a good recipe. So I garnished it, I don't know if you can tell, you can't tell, but I garnished it with some dill and chives. And this may be controversial because not everybody feels as strongly as I do about sour cream, but I love it, and so I did add a little bit. You can see it right there. I added a little bit to mine just to make it a little extra creamy, and I love sour cream. So let's give it a taste. Let's see here. It's really good. Mmm. Yes. Yes, that's good. Those are the spring flavors you're kind of craving right now. Winter's pretty much over. We're getting over making the, you know, heavy comfort meals that we've been eating all winter long. And now we're ready for some fresh flavors, like asparagus. And it's really good. It's in season right now. So go on and grab you some. Mmm. Really good. And garlic bread to go with it. That's good. Good combo. So, I don't mean to chew in your face, but so yeah, this would be great with a grilled cheese. This would be great for as a dinner option, like I said, with a salad on the side or a quick lunch. It's a healthy soup. It's good for you. It's fresh. It's clean tasting. Give her a try. I'm gonna link the recipe in the description box below. I hope you give both these soups a try that I featured in this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like I've said before many times, but yeah, help me grow this channel. We can do it together. So I'm gonna have a bunch more content coming up. So we'll see you in the next one, okay guys? Have a good day. Bye.